Yo, what is up guys, your boy Zakage here with part 3 of What If Naruto Was Kobe Bryant. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's begin. So guys, if you missed part 2, remember it's on Zether's channel, so make sure to watch that and then come back to part 3. So, Naruto returned to the village after the Land of Waves arc, and after 3 days, Kakashi brings up the tuning exams. Of course, everyone in Team 7 accepts, and they train for a month. During this month, Naruto masters his wind affinity, and Sasuke has 2 Tomo in both his eyes. And Sakura, I don't know, she knows how to throw a kunai straight, yeah. So, they're on their way to the tuning exams, and they see some Sand Shinobi roughing up Konohamaru. Naruto speed blitzes behind Kankuro and says, "If you want to live, you probably let go of that kid." Kankuro smiles and says, or what? Naruto presses a kunai against his skin, on the verge of piercing it. Then Tamari speaks up, "Kankuro, that's enough, put the kid down." Kankuro reluctantly does so, and Naruto looks back at Tamari, who began blushing. Naruto was really dense, so he's all like, because all he does is train, and he says, "Hey, are you sick or something? You're turning red." "Wait, get under some shade, you might be burning from the sun." Tamari just busts out laughing. You really are dense. Don't worry, I'm fine." And Naruto just says okay and begins walking away, but then he senses some ominous chakra coming from the tree above Tamari. He threw a kunai into the leaves, and what surprised Gaara was that his sand wasn't even quick enough. The kunai grazed his cheek, but since it hit his sand armor, it just reformed. Gaara got the biggest grin on his face. Finally, a worthy opponent. Naruto sees Gaara, and they both lock eyes and kind of telepathically link because of their tail beasts. And Gaara, he's in a psychotic state. He's like, "Blood, I will have your blood." Naruto's like, "Okay, weirdo," and just begins walking away. At the tuning exams, Team 7 sees through the genjutsu easily, and to everyone they just walk through a wall, but genjutsu. So after standing around waiting, Lee comes up to Sasuke asking for a fight. He accepts, and Lee just basically beating down on Sasuke. And Lee was about to kick Sasuke with all his strength, then Naruto stepped in, blocking the kick. Lee felt pain coursing through his feet because it was as if he kicked a wall, and then he fell over on the ground, thriving in pain. Naruto went for a kick to Lee's head, and Lee just backflipped away, dodging it. Lee was about to unclip his leg weights, but Guy stepped in, scolding Lee, then complimenting Naruto. "Kid, youth shines bright within you. Not a lot of people can take a full-powered kick from my pupil, but you were like a brick wall. It can only be explained by the power of youth." Naruto was weirded out by the guy's enthusiasm, then continued to the written portion. Since Naruto studied a lot, he easily gets through this, then to the Forest of Death. Naruto's team gets their Earth Scroll and line up to enter the forest. As this part of the exam start, they both rush into the forest trying to find someone with the Heaven Scroll. And then they meet a grass ninja, who we know as, Orochimaru. Orochimaru shows them his Heaven Scroll, and Naruto and Sasuke begin simultaneously attacking Orochimaru, overwhelming him at first, but he takes off his fake skin or whatever, like the person he was impersonating, and then starts beating down on the two. Naruto and Sasuke were just like outmatched, and Orochimaru knocked out Sasuke. Naruto was on the verge of losing, but then he said, "I will not lose." And then Kurama's chakra begins surrounding Naruto, the two tails forming. Naruto blitzes Orochimaru, who barely kept up, and Naruto kicked him into the tree, but Orochimaru used his arms to deflect the attack, but both his arms broke. He went flying through a bunch of trees, and Naruto came up in front of him, punching him again. Orochimaru, barely having the time to regurgitate himself, does so and just tries to escape. Naruto kicks him again, but this time it was too fast and Orochimaru got away. Naruto went back to Sasuke, and then off all the strain from Kurama's chakra finally hit him and he fell over, passed out. Sakura, everything goes to canon with both Naruto and Sasuke passed out and Sakura protecting them, quote unquote. And Neji's team comes in, saves her. And yeah, they're at the preliminary exams. Nothing really changes with the preliminaries, just Naruto and Sasuke easily taking out their opponents. Oh, and Sasuke did get the curse mark while Orochimaru, knocked him out. He had time to give him the curse mark. So he got that sealed from Kakashi, and he did take out his opponent just with, just similar to canon. He couldn't use any chakra, so he improvised. And to the month training. Naruto meets Jiraiya and the two train together. Naruto learns both Toad summoning and the Rasengan within a week. Because I'm pretty sure in canon Naruto learned the Rasengan in a week, so just accelerated that whole training. And for the rest of the months, Naruto had been sparring with Jiraiya and learning a bit more elemental jutsu, actually unlocking water style. And Sasuke learned some lightning style jutsu from Kakashi as well, like the Chidori. So we get to the third part of the Chunin exams. Naruto's fight with Neji goes completely in his favor, basically the opposite of canon. Neji tries striking Naruto's chakra points, but he's too quick and dodges them each time. Naruto takes down Neji, punching him in his gut, then doing a water prison, causing Neji to pass out from lack of oxygen. So the next fights go to canon, and we are at Sasuke versus Gaara. Sasuke does the usual, stabs Gaara through the shoulder with his Chidori, and Gaara basically goes crazy, seeing his blood for the first time, and then goes into his half Shikaku state. This marks the start of the Konoha Crush. Temari and Kankuro, who are in the stands, Kankuro goes down to Gaara, and Temari turns to Naruto and says, "I'm sorry." Naruto was kind of confused, and then she rushed to Gaara as well, and they both take him into the forest trying to get away, but Sasuke gives chase, and so does Naruto. Since Naruto was a good bit behind them, Sasuke does get beat up by Gaara, and Shino intercepts Kankuro, and they fight as well. And Naruto catches up with Sasuke, and he reaches as Sasuke gets punched into a tree, knocking him out. Naruto gets a bit angry and then starts fighting with Gaara, but he realizes that he won't be enough because Gaara had just turned into his full Shikaku state. Naruto does a summoning jutsu and, as usual, transforms into the Nine Tails, gripping Shikaku and then punching Gaara awake. He falls to the ground and Naruto does his most powerful jutsu. With a million hand signs, Naruto says, "Talk no jutsu." Then a puff of smoke appears. Naruto does his talk no jutsu and Gaara becomes good. So, since Orochimaru escaped, he had actually stayed in his Kazekage form and did fight Hiruzen, leading to his death. So the Jonin of the Leaf take care of the San Shinobi, and third Hiruzen dies. Sad. The next few days they have his funeral, and they are in need of a new Hokage. Naruto and Jiraiya get sent to retrieve Tsunade as usual, and at the motel, Naruto meets Itachi knocks on Naruto's door. He answers it and sees him and Kisame standing over him. He tries attacking Itachi, but he bursts into a flock of crows. He bursts into a flock of crows, and Kisame strikes Naruto with his sword, sapping out some of his chakra. Naruto jumps back, but at this point half his chakra is gone and he's exhausted. Naruto tries tapping into the Nine Tails and it works. He gets some power, amping his strength. He goes to punch Kisame and he goes flying through a wall. Kasame is now angry and then rushes Naruto, swinging his sword at him. He grazes his arm, but because of Shark Fin, like his Naruto's entire arm gets ripped up. Then Jiraiya comes and saves Naruto. And Sasuke does his usual thing, but Itachi takes care of him. So Jiraiya takes care of both, not takes care, but they flee and they meet up with Tsunade. Tsunade is reluctant to become the Hokage, but Naruto challenges her and actually wins this time because she makes the usual bet, like if you can learn the Rasengan in a week, and Naruto shows her his perfect Rasengan, and he's like, yeah, I guess there's a reason why they call you the the loser, or what was her nickname? I guess there is a reason why they call you the legendary sucker. Tsunade just snarls at Naruto and gives her his necklace, and they return to the village. As they return, they get news that Sasuke had actually been taken up by the Sound 4, and had actually left the village. Tsunade quickly created a retrieval team to get Sasuke back, and it goes pretty much to canon. But with the fight against Sasuke and Naruto, when Naruto finally catches up to Sasuke at the final valley, they have their fight, and Naruto easily takes care of Sasuke. But then Sasuke uses Chidori and was aiming for Naruto's heart, but went for his shoulder. Naruto's Rasengan went straight into Sasuke's chest, tearing up his entire freaking organs and stuff, but he's still alive. Sasuke is completely out of the fight and Naruto is heavily injured, but still presses on. He carries him back to the village, and halfway there he meets Kakashi, who carries both the boys back. When Sasuke wakes up in the hospital, he's chained down and he's trying to get out, but Naruto, Kakashi, and Tsunade walk in. At this point, Sasuke had been knocked out for 2 weeks, and Tsunade was the one who healed up all the injuries. Tsunade had been researching using some of the Uzumaki libraries that were still had preserved to find out some sealing that could get rid of the curse mark, and they found one. They used it and the curse mark just disappeared from his neck. Sasuke was angry, like, you took my power! And then Tsunade says, that's not a power you want. Sasuke is just angry at this point, but he can't do anything, because these chains that he was tied up with were chakra infused and he couldn't get out of them. After that day, Naruto returns home and Naruto starts punching his walls. He's saying, how could I let the third Hokage die? Because Naruto heard the news, like he was at the funeral and everything, and he basically thought that he died because Naruto wasn't strong enough. And Naruto just kept cursing himself, but this only caused fuel for him to just train even harder. And so Naruto did. Naruto had been training, and then Jiraiya asked him if he wanted to go on a little journey. Naruto just said if he can train on the journey, then fine. And so the two embarked on their 3-year journey. And that's where I'm going to leave this one off. Thank you guys for sticking to the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next What If.